so good. So this time, maybe if I mix it in like this way, we'll just do it a bit at a time. That's probably enough, Right. So far, so good. No adverse effects so far. Those two elements are mixing nicely. Okay. Alright, so now that those are fully mixed in, let's add it just a bit at a time. Okay, nothing so far. There. Alright. What? No. No. Alright, not that. Again, why did you do it this time? I added it slower and mixed it into the other element first. Well, that's not it, is it? Certainly not. Yeah, I wonder if after the smoking, maybe it's okay. Oh no, it smells like smoke now. Oh, well, that one's botched too. What else do I need in there? Maybe if I had some of these. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please come on in. Yes, of course. It's been a while since I've seen someone like you in here. Well, what can I do for you? What do you mean, what is this place? Have you never seen an alchemist shop before? Oh, you haven't? Well, I guess that would explain it, wouldn't it? Well, I am an alchemist. I do all sorts of things here. I got tinctures. I got, elixirs. I've got all sorts of things that sort of help make life a bit better, I suppose. You see, alchemists, we study elements. It's the core building blocks of what makes up everything, really. And we study those things, and we learn different elements' properties, and then we combine them in different ways to enhance them, to make new things, to improve them, to all sorts of things, really. Sometimes to, try something and fail. But it's quite an interesting field, and there's quite a lot that I can offer to my fellow people. So what exactly is it that you're looking for? Anything specific I can help you with? Oh. No, it doesn't bother me that you're a human. I mean, it's unusual, to be sure. Place like Knapwin. But no, it doesn't bother me at all. I actually most of the dwarves who live here, they've lived here their whole lives and never left. But I used to live in a place quite a ways from here that, well, it was a very welcoming place. It was full of alchemists and inventors and engineers and all sorts of people who were learning and pushing the limits of this world every day. It was absolutely perfect. Until it wasn't. But anyway, no. There were plenty of humans there. Quite a lot of gnomes too, so that doesn't bother me. Brighthaven. Yeah, that's right. That's where it was. Interesting. I haven't heard it called that in quite a while. Most people who know of it call it by whatever that silly name is they gave to it after the fact, after the horrible explosion that destroyed half the town. Blightthorn, that's it. What an awful name. I mean, I know it was an awful thing that happened, but you could maybe find a slightly better name for it. You know what I'm saying? Well, yes, I lived in Brighthaven back before everything happened, I suppose. How do you know about Brighthaven? Oh, you've met someone else who lived there. Who was it by chance? Maybe I know them. Isabel. She must have lived more on the human side, probably. Yeah, I didn't go over there quite as often. Although there were a few people who were fascinating. I loved going over there. There was a toy inventor. Yeah, he made all these little gadgets. You know, little flowers that would open up and turn into these beautiful ballerinas and dance around. Or these little bugs that would march and like play little instruments and things. That was fascinating. Anyway, that's all from a long time ago. But no, it doesn't bother me that you're human. I'm sure that there have been maybe a few dwarves around here who haven't given you the most warm of welcome, huh? Well, you won't be having any of those troubles from here. Don't you worry. What? Oh, this? Well, it doesn't bother you, does it? Good. This was a particular experiment that went, well, about as bad as it could have gone, really. Yeah, you know, that's the funny thing about alchemy is that so much of what we do is uncharted territory. It's meant to push the boundaries of life as we know it. And so a lot of it is trial and error. Yeah, and a lot of experiments end up in failure before you get it right. Well, personally, I don't like the word failure. I don't think that something is a failure as long as you learn from it, right? And quite a few times I've learned more from failures than I have from success. And also, sometimes the more that you fail in trying to do something, then when you actually get to do it, when you actually get it right, that's just that much more satisfying. You know what I'm saying? Sort of. Alright, that's fair. Actually, you know, these were something that took quite a long time to develop. Lots of failed experiments with these, but once I got it right, that was quite the day, I can tell you that. What are they? Oh, well, these are very fascinating, if I do say so myself. You see, long ago, 200 years ago or so, Knapwin was sort of a dual city. We had part of the city underground down here, like we've got now, but we also had quite a bit of the city above the surface. And so most of our food production came from the city above. Right. Now, after the whole civil war of the races and the whole mess with the great separation and all that, the chieftains of Knapwin decided that it was a good time to take our assets elsewhere. Let's just say that. So they started a plan to have us move the entire city of Knapwin underground, where you see it now. But living underground, it poses some problems, especially because most of the food that people eat come from plants, or if they come from animals, then the animals need the plants and, things like that. And plants need sunlight to grow. So what exactly are you going to grow in a big cave like this? Well, that's where these little things come in. See, these are crystals. that were actually mined right here in Knapwin. And they have been bonded with a few other elements and things through alchemy. You see, alchemy is actually a marriage of science and observation, and a bit of magic thrown in there too. And these little crystals, when they're charged, they glow with a beautiful, warm, radiating light. And they almost imitate the light of the sun. So, if you have enough of these in a lantern, and you've got those lanterns all around, it's actually enough light and enough energy that plants can grow. That's right, yeah, right in the cave. Well, I guess only certain plants. You see, there's this very, a bit odd, but very smart botanist that lives down here too. And she developed a plant that can grow with the light of these crystals. So it's sort of a joint effort between her and me. Anyway, so I call them sun crystals. Not because they, are the colour of the sun, but because they imitate the power and the warmth of the sun's light that helps plants to grow, helps everything to grow. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Alchemy, it was actually, it was invented, I'd say 800 or 900 years ago or something like that. Like I said, it's a union between science and magic. And actually, about that time, 800 or 900 years ago, there was something in this land called the Shadow Wars. Now, the Shadow Wars, there were these creatures, these entities that seemed to be made of shadow. They were just these blobs of no light, no colour, no anything. No light could pass through them or reflect off of them. And we couldn't touch them, but somehow they could touch us and touch things, and they wreaked havoc all through this land. And no one really knows where they came from, but it was obvious that something needed to happen to take care of these things, because our conventional weapons and things and even magic attacks didn't work on them. So eventually, after people had exhausted quite a lot of options, a dwarf and a gnome and an elf all came together, and the elf contributed some magic. A dwarf contributed things like magical crystals or crystals that have the energy of the land here, and a gnome contributed their engineering and inventive prowess, intelligence, and the three of them together created what has now become known as alchemy. And they created these sort of light traps. I have no idea how they worked. Unfortunately, the design for them didn't survive past the war, but they were able to use those to trap the shadow beings. And once they had those traps and they were able to take out a few of them, then the rest of them just disappeared. Yeah, fascinating. But it was alchemy that got rid of that. And then, of course, after the war, those traps weren't necessarily needed anymore, but the original three, the elf and the dwarf and the gnome, they all kept working together and passed on their knowledge and their learnings and their new way of thinking and combining things. And the study of alchemy has progressed since then. Unfortunately, there were quite a few of the most prominent minds in alchemy in the whole kingdom that were in Brighthaven at the time, the explosion. Quite a few brilliant minds lost. But there's still some, humdrum people like me practicing and doing what we can. Oh, this one? This is a sleeping draft. Now, back when the elves were in this land, 150 years ago, before the whole Great Separation thing, they had all kinds of magical tinctures and elixirs and potions, whatever you'd like to call them, that could do all sorts of things for people. And one of them was a very powerful sleeping draught. And there were quite a few people, many that I knew, that really began to rely on that sleeping draught. But of course, when the elves left and they took all their magic with them, we didn't have access to that anymore. So I spent the next few years trying to mimic the effects of that sleeping draught with alchemy instead. So this is my version of it. Unfortunately, it's not quite as powerful as the full-on nature magic version, but it's still quite helpful on those nights where your mind won't let you be. Yeah, quite a useful thing there. And then of course I've got the opposite over here too. This is a new one that I made specifically for dwarves, but I think it would work for other races as well. This is pure energy. These little stones here, they're made of all different kinds of elements and things that help you stay awake, help you focus, help you keep your mind and your body on task, I suppose. You see, the thing about dwarves, we are very hardworking, but we're also quite stubborn. And sometimes we don't like leaving a thing half done, even if it's the middle of the night. So these are quite popular amongst the workaholic dwarves. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. The crystals that are around Knapwin, they're not the sun crystals. These are just in the agriculture side of things. But there are those reddish, sort of pinkish crystals that are lining the streets of Knapwin and up in the ceiling of the cave, sort of tucked in amongst the stalactites there. Yes, those are reddish crystals that glow, and we can sort of control how intensely they glow to give a sort of a daytime and a nighttime effect. I made those too. Let's see, right here. These, I call them fire crystals. Yeah. These have not quite as intense of a light as these, because you don't necessarily want to be staring right at these. That could really hurt your eyes. These are a bit gentler, but still quite strong. And like I said, these are able to be manipulated a bit better, so we can make them brighter or dimmer. Yeah, quite a few of these. These are other crystals that were mined right here in Knapwin. There's a whole lot of crystals around here. Not a lot of actual precious gemstones, I suppose, but definitely a lot of crystals. Mm-hmm. Anyway, is there anything else that you were maybe looking for today? I got plenty of other things. I got my tincture. Oh yeah, here's this one. Here, let me show you this one too. Just put those back on there. Now this little one, I call these smelling salts. It is a mixture of salt and powder and quite a few elements that if you open it up, it smells very, very pleasant. Here, to give that a whiff. That's nice, right? Yeah. And it's not just that it smells nice, but the certain elements in here, it helps to soothe an anxious mind. Right, so any sort of worries, anxieties, things like that, or even just an overactive mind that can't seem to focus. You just open this up and give it a whiff, and it's very helpful. Yeah, that's another recipe that took me quite a while to perfect, but I'm rather proud of that. It's helped lots of people too. So, yeah. Oh, and then this here is actually sort of goes along with the sun crystals. These are specifically little pellets of fertilizer for the plants that grow down here. It's another type of crystal. These are a bit different. Again, they're more rounded. But all it takes is one of these, and you sort of plant it in the soil around the plants, and that'll feed them and help them grow for quite a while. Yeah. Actually, I've got to get this little jar over to Kirstin. Yeah, the botanist. She's a bit of a crazy old coot, but she means well. And she definitely knows what she's doing. We couldn't live underground without her. Oh, well, thanks. I don't know that I'm quite as important as her anymore, but, you know, nice of you to say. So, anything else that I could maybe show you? Oh, you're looking for a gift for someone? Well, I mean, I think I've got plenty of useful gifts here. You know, if there's someone that might need energy or need help sleeping or, you know, anything like that, definitely. Oh, are they someone that gets into different scraps and scuffles very often? These are little smoke bombs. Actually, I made these with someone else, a different alchemist in Brighthaven long ago. They're just these little pellets. Very, very small and unassuming looking. And they're perfectly safe when you just got them, you know, in this. But if you take one and you throw it on the ground, it will erupt into this big plume of inky grey smoke. Yeah, very useful for making a quick getaway or, I don't know, causing a distraction. All sorts of uses for someone who maybe does quite a bit of adventuring. Yeah. Let's see, what else I got over here? It's, is it someone in Knapwin? They might need some ground sickness remedy, but, you know, if they're not here, then that's probably not really useful. Let's see, those are all just ailments. Okay, so you're looking for something a bit more traditional, gift-wise. Well, I might not be able to help you with that. Although there is an excellent jeweler in town that you could speak to. Yeah, she is quite the master at her trade, that's for sure. I'm sure that she'd have plenty of different gift ideas that you could do there. She's been around almost as long as I have. Oh yeah, well, I mean, technically it's a bit rude to ask someone's age. Maybe that's not a thing with humans, never mind. I'm about, let's see, sometimes I forget, 260, something like that. Yeah, that's definitely been around for quite a while. Oh, you're looking for someone, eh? Karis. A dwarf by the name of Karis. What time frame was she here? 300 years ago. Well, I mean, obviously I wasn't around back then, but, you know, she might have been older when I was born or something. Name doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I have to ask around some other people. Yeah, I'm trying to think who'd be old enough to know someone from 300 years ago. Have you tried the library yet? Oh, alright, so she's looking into it for you, that's good. That's good. She's quite helpful. Maybe the jeweler, I think she's younger than me. Maybe she's older than me. I don't know. We don't really pay attention to that so much, but she's been around a long time, so she might be able to. Or maybe the dwarf at the post. I'm not sure how old she's been around, but I feel like she's been there forever. And she seems to know everything about everyone, so it's a good bet that if anyone would know of someone from 300 years ago, it would be Genra. Yeah, at the post. The post? Oh yeah, it's this little building that's near sort of the mercantile in the middle of town, and it's got a big wall, a big stone wall that's all well, it's where people post things. Different notices, different letters and things like that, and she processes it all. And some things have got to come in and some things have got to go out. Some things are just sort of the general announcement for the town or dwarves anywhere really, and so those get posted to the wall behind her. Yeah, she knows a little bit about everything, and she seems to know everything about everyone. So that would maybe be a good bet for you to go. Yeah, the post. Trying to think. Anyone else who will be old enough? I mean, Kirstin, the botanist, she's rather old too. Off the top of my head, that's all I can really think about. I don't socialise all that much with the other dwarves. Ever since having that stint of living with humans and gnomes and, all those other people, and seeing that sort of community of people working together and having such different lifestyles, but still being a unit, and everyone supporting each other and all that sort of thing. It almost feels a bit boring living amongst just the dwarves all the time. I know there are a few dwarves here and there who sort of leave town and go somewhere else, but it's very rare. It's very, very rare for dwarves to do that. Yeah, for the most part, we stay at home. Even me leaving for Brighthaven was quite the upset in my clan, I can tell you that. Wait, you've met another dwarf who left town? Oh. So she left Brackengold and she's in Tivermac now? Tivermac. That's that port city, right? I've heard some not great things about that place. Alright, well, that's fair. Interesting. Well, I mean, it does happen. Dwarves leaving home, but maybe one of these days I'll get brave again. I'll venture out. Although now I got my shop here, I got everything I could really need. I got room to study. I got the things that people need to, sustain me and my family. And, that's a nice life. That's maybe not the most exciting, but that's nice. Anyway, so I guess I don't have a gift for your friend, but anything that sort of interests you here? Oh, sure, yeah. Those smelling salts. Excellent choice. Yeah. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, that's 2 gold for that, yeah. Alright. Thank you kindly. Yeah. Anything else I can interest you in today? Just that for now. Alright. Well, if you need any of these things, or if you just come across some sort of a problem and you don't have a solution for it, you come back to me. I like to find solutions to things. That's for sure. Oh, also, if you're gonna be here for too much longer, you might need something like this. The ground sickness remedy. Yeah. It's different living underground than it is living above. So, you know, if you need any help sort of adjusting to life down here, you come and you let me know, alright? We'll make something for you. Okay, well, enjoy the salts, and I hope you find some information about that person you were looking for. Yeah, and a gift for your friend, I guess, too. Sounds like you've got quite the itinerary, don't you? Well, happy to be of help. And always very happy to meet a new face here in Knapwin. Doesn't happen very often, so that's a nice change of pace. Well, I suppose I shouldn't take up any more of your time. Try the post, like I said, Genera. Yeah, I wish you the best. Till next time.